So this is a different type of view. So you've got like a blended of colors, right? A blend of colors. Like the pink and it's like a really hazy kind of look when I'm looking at it. Not necessarily through the camera, but then it has this blue at the top. So you have the blue right there. See, when I want to get into painting, but I don't want to use a lot of color. So I want it to be very ashy and earthy kind of thing. And then maybe like a little touch of color every once in a while. But if a modern artist or abstract painter is going to use colors, I think it's got to some type of way it's got to imitate nature. I don't know. I've seen so much like Jim Carrey stuff. You know, it's so damn colorful and bright. But I've seen so much of that in abstract painting that it kind of turns me off. I don't know. It's like I don't think those people have a concept of painting and color because it's coming out of nature, and I think they amplify it. It's what it is. It's overacting on the canvas, and just using ashy colors or dirt colors to start off with, and maybe lines if you want to just go with abstract. But I don't like concepts like words written on the canvas, really. I think that's very basic. I like Frank Stella stuff. Like, he was brilliant with color. Frank Stella was good with like shape and like tricking the eye a little bit, you know. Pollock was actually pretty good with color and mixing like lines in different directions and shapes, you know, all kind of splatted onto the canvas, but yet there was a choice in the color that makes it very different. You know, it's like you can tell when a little kid takes a crayon and presses down really hard and kind of, you know, smears some paint on there and just kind of walks away. You can tell the work in a painting when you see it. But that's, you know, I mean, you know, look at Picasso. He just did the paintings or sometimes even the drawings in a matter of seconds. But yet he had practiced that over and over again. Of course, Van Gogh spent a lot of time painting, you know, taking his time with applying a lot of paint throughout all of the canvas, which basically became his brilliance in the way he showed the reflection of light in a lot of color. Like, if you're gonna go with that kind of color, go full on, especially with just one canvas. Go full on with it as much as you can, but layer it and like apply it as a thick mass, like Van Gogh did. Like, be mean to the canvas, like be gooey with the oil painting or whatever. But I'm telling you, man, there are some good abstract artists and there are some bad ones. But, you know, I mean, you know, that's how everything is. And maybe some people think the bad ones are good and the good ones are bad. So I guess, you know, in art, it's kind of like it goes both ways, kind of. You know, you can say, hey, this guy sucks, I hate this guy. Another person's like, that guy's brilliant, he does something for me. So everyone has their own taste. So, you know, that's kind of the subject or the subjective aspect of it all. It's a hate and love relationship with people. And I think if you know the person, you're going to hate it, right? You go to the theater and you know the person, you see him up on stage, there's something about it that you're probably not going to like because you know them. Your imaginations can't be tricked as much as someone that doesn't know them. I don't know, but you can still not know someone and they're just bland and they're not risky and they're not living life to the fullest and it's just mundane and they don't want to be there. You can tell when an actor's on stage and they don't want to be there for whatever reason. That's why it's better to do your own work, your own plays, because you're going to want to do that. You're going to want to rescue it. You're going to want to rescue your own play in front of the audience. If it's someone else's work, you're only going to want to rescue that so much. You're only going to want to keep that alive for so long and rehearsals and all this stuff. You know, the playwright really is kind of a painter in a way, but like he's choosing certain words to say at certain moments to hit upon. And the really good ones care for the actors. They want the actors to, I guess, to look good or to have a good time. And that's another thing too. It's like you want to have like a good time. You want to enjoy life because we're only here for so long. And when people are just pressing down and they're just becoming toxic and they're really hurting you, you want to get away from them. I mean, hey, listen, they may be saved by Jesus or they may be right. They may be right. But if they're hurting you, get away. You know, there's no reason to stay. You know, if it's not enjoyable, if there's agitation, that's just going to kill you. There's got to be bliss in life. There's got to be joy. If you don't have that joy, get away and find a way to get it. Because there are toxic people out there. There are people out there that want to hurt you. They want to take from you. They want to steal from you. Get away from them. And find the person that wants to love you and help you grow. And not worship you, because we can only worship God. But a person that wants to worship God with you. A person that wants you to enjoy life. And hey, here's another thing too. A person that wants to watch out for your body, that doesn't want to desecrate your body. Get away from those people. They're on the wrong track. I would say probably most all marriages are wrong. Okay, most all of them. But I think people find a compromise, and it's like an agreement, and they make an agreement to be friends. That's where it is. They don't want to betray their friend, so they stay with their partner. But there's no perfect marriage, you know. It's just not going to happen. It will not happen. There will not be a perfect marriage. But if you're a friend, if you love that person, you don't want them to suffer. You know, you suffer by yourself. You suffer alone. It's harder to suffer with a friend, because no friend wants to watch you suffer. No friend wants to watch you suffer, right? But there are people out there that want to hurt, and it doesn't make them feel better. It does not make them feel any better. It doesn't make a person feel better to hurt another person. It makes a person feel better to give to another person, to sacrifice for another person. When you sacrifice your own body, I guess you could say, too, because women do it in pregnancy, there is a sense of love. There has to be a sense of love there. But that's not the ultimate sacrifice. Birthing a baby is not the ultimate sacrifice in a marriage. That's part of it. The ultimate sacrifice in the marriage is to stay by your spouse no matter what. That's the ultimate sacrifice. No matter how much they annoy you, no matter how much they hurt you, no matter what they do to you, you're willing to give up your own life and all the things that you want to show and help with people and all the things that you want to do and all the fun things that you want to go through. You're willing to give all that up just to stay by a person's side. And even if the life is mundane, even if the life is wrong, you're still willing to suck it up and say, look, I'm going to stay by your side. This world is evil. There's people out there that are hungry and desperate. They will hurt you. I'm going to stay by your side and nurture you no matter what. That's sacrifice. It's not the birthing process or the biblical pain of birth. That's not it. That is not it. That's just a little moment. What does that take? 8 hours, maybe 10 hours, maybe 24 hours, maybe 48 hours. Okay, there's so much blood, blah, blah, blah. That you heal from that. And hey, some people don't even get to go through that and they still stay married. You don't abandon someone for any reason. You don't abandon. That's not marriage. When you abandon your spouse, that's not marriage. Separation is not marriage. It can't happen. Marriage is not. Marriage means together, union. Separation means apart. So it doesn't happen. Screw the paperwork. Divorce is just, paperwork. If they leave, even if they leave and they're still there. But see, I think I don't agree with that completely. I think if the spouse leaves in her head and she's still there, I think she's a loyal wife that will put up with anything and stay there, even though she's left in her head, or she's kind of left in her spirit, almost kind of thing. But if she still decides to stay anyway, even though it hurts, then she's doing it out of love. When she leaves, then she all of a sudden becomes happy and joyous. That's selfishness, happy. She'll never really be happy, unfortunately. But that's why we turn to Jesus. That's the whole reason.